Hey, I get it standing in the electronics aisle, staring at a sleek 14-inch laptop and wondering if it can actually keep up with the games you want to play after a long day of work feels like a gamble. You're trying to protect your budget, avoid a machine that overheats on a single level up, and you definitely don't want to end up with a portable PC that's more showpiece than playable. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. In this video I'm breaking down the Lenovo ThinkPad P14s mobile workstation, the version that's marketed to engineers and designers, but has a Radeon 860M tucked inside, so let's see if it can double duty as a decent gaming rig without breaking the bank. First off, the thing that most people overlook when they look at a business-class laptop for gaming is the thermal architecture. Lenovo's ThinkPad line is famous for its conservative fan curves, which is great for office silence but can become a bottleneck when you push a GPU like the Radeon 860M for a modern title. In practice, what I've seen on the P14s is that you can comfortably run esports staples, think Valorant, Rocket League, Workstation, at high 1080p settings for several hours before the fan ramps up to a noticeable whine. The fan noise stays in the 4045 dB range, so you won't feel like you're sitting next to a mini turbine. But if you try to crank an AAA title like Cyberpunk 2077 up beyond low-medium settings, the system will start throttling after about 15-20 minutes and you'll hear that fan climb toward 50 dB. It's not a deal-breaker if you mostly play less demanding games, but it's a clear ceiling. Battery life is another practical concern. The P14s packs a 71Wh cell, which is generous for a 14-inch chassis, and thanks to the AMD Ryzen 7 Pro 350's efficiency-focused architecture, you can get roughly 5 to 6 hours of mixed usage, a couple of work sessions, some email, and a short gaming stint. Once the GPU is under load, the battery drain spikes dramatically. You'll be looking at 2 to 3 hours if you leave the graphics engaged. That means the laptop is best suited for a work-first, game-later routine, where you can plug in for the heavier sessions, or you keep a charger handy for marathon gaming nights. Now let's talk about the display. The 14-inch FHD Plus panel, 19201200, is a step up from the typical 1080p 16:9 screen you see on many budget gaming laptops. The extra vertical real estate is handy for productivity. You can have a spreadsheet and a design canvas open side by side without feeling cramped. The touchscreen adds a layer of flexibility for sketching or navigating menus, though you'll probably disable it while gaming to avoid accidental taps. Color accuracy is decent out of the box, covering around 85% of the sRGB gamut, so you won't notice banding in most games, but you won't get the deep HDR punch of a dedicated gaming display either. If you're used to a 144Hz panel, the 60Hz refresh rate will feel a bit slower, but the overall image is crisp and the anti-glare coating works well in bright rooms. One of the biggest draws for the P14s is the memory and storage configuration. With 32GB of DDR5 RAM and a 1TB SSD, you have more than enough headroom for both demanding professional software and large game libraries. The DDR5 speed helps keep frame times consistent in titles that are memory hungry, and the SSD boots Windows 11 Pro in under 10 seconds, so you're never waiting long to jump into a match. The SSD is NVMe, so load times in games are comparable to a dedicated gaming laptop in the same price bracket. Port selection is where this ThinkPad really shines for a hybrid user. Dual USB-C ports with Thunderbolt 4 support mean you can daisy-chain an external GPU if you ever feel the integrated Radeon 860M isn't enough, and you can also run a 4K monitor at 60Hz for a more immersive setup. 2 regular USB-A ports let you plug in a mouse, a controller, or a headset without needing a dongle. There's also an HDMI 2.1 output, which is a pleasant surprise on a business machine. You can connect straight to a TV for couch gaming sessions. Who should consider buying this laptop? If you're a developer, designer, or engineer who needs a reliable, portable workstation during the day and wants to unwind with games that don't demand a top-tier GPU, the P14s makes sense. The combination of a high-capacity RAM kit, fast SSD, and Wi-Fi 7 ensures you stay productive and connected, while the Radeon 860M gives you enough horsepower for indie titles, older AAA releases, and anything that runs well on a mid-range GPU. It's also a solid pick for students in technical fields who want a single device for both coursework and weekend gaming. Who should skip it? If you're a competitive gamer chasing high frame rates in fast-paced shooters, or you want to push the latest AAA titles at ultra settings, you'll be disappointed. The thermal limits, modest 860M graphics, and 60Hz panel keep this machine from competing with dedicated gaming laptops that sport RTX 30 series GPUs.